shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. Happy Independence Day early. I guess the next time we see y'all will be the day after our nation's birthday. How many years is this? Walter, you know?
Let's see. It happened a couple years after I was born in 1776.
That's this
I don't know
guy
if I can
right
count
here.
that far.
He thinks me and you were both there.
Well, that wasn't right there. I mean, but, shortly after I was, talking to Mr. Hancock himself. And he said to me, Walt, and I said to him, what? He said, got a pen?
Gizzard Gary, 248 years. So we'll have what would we call 250 years, a sesquibicentennial?
That's a mouthful right there.
I just made that up. 250 years is a lot better. I hope all y'all had a great week. Thank all y'all for joining us. I have no idea how many's out there this evening. Holiday weekend. A lot of people are off traveling, and we got a slim crew tonight, but we're going to do the best we can. And with that thought in mind, we'll get started here, and some more folks will be.
There's a Chico Wise in the audience.
Yeah, there's Chico Wise.
Chico, hey Chico.
I saw you muscling that engine into that truck this week. Good job.
Did I miss a Chico Wise video?
It was a short one.
Oh. I missed so many videos it ain't even funny. How was y'all's week? CW, what'd you do this week?
Not a lot, really. We're still reeling from some hot weather, so I haven't done a whole lot. Went to the gun store. I got that 400 ordered. That's really about it. Didn't do a whole lot. Couple of jobs on the bench. Cut the lawn, the regular stuff. So not a whole lot, really. It was a pretty uneventful week. Washed the dog. Couple loads of clothes. Regular mundane house stuff.
We're 86 right now, and we've had a shower come through. You remember me telling y'all on the group text how they were saying we wouldn't get out of the 80s the last 2 days? Remember, we had 100, what was it, 102 or 106? Yeah, 106 the other day.
Wow.
When I got my car to go home. So they missed it both days. The rain didn't come. We were at like 95 and 93. So enough of my whining. How was your week, Walter?
I had a pretty good week. Over here where I am, real close to the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't get hot here, and that water temperature out there is only about 58, 59 degrees. So it's not like the East Coast water. And so even when we get a warmish day here, humidity doesn't kill us. We'll have some humidity, maybe 70, 80% to start the morning off here. We get some marine layer that sneaks its way in, but it doesn't get hot. I think it got all the way up to about 68 today. So, we don't have AC. We got it in our cars. We never run that either.
So better gas mileage that way.
I reckon. But anyway, I had a pretty good week. I got to the range a couple of times and did some shooting, and had some friends in from out of town. We spent a little bit of time together. Hadn't seen them. They're from up Idaho way, and they came into town, went out and had some lunch and did some hiking and stuff. And I'd got a brand new Smith & Wesson model 648 22 mag 8-shot revolver, stainless steel, beautiful looking gun. It wouldn't shoot. It wouldn't fire the ammo I put in. Put 4 different kinds of ammo in that thing. It would run the cheapy Credi Aguila, but it would not set off CCI. Maxi Mags would not set off. Hornady VMAX would not set off. Fiocchi 40 grain stuff. But 2 out of 3 or every other one, it would just light strike them. So it's already on its way back to Smith and Wesson. That was an irritant, but the rest of the week was all good. Yeah, a lot of fun. My friend and range officer from the range where I shoot, this lady who's been learning to reload, she was in this week to get kind of another lesson, and I gave her some stuff that I don't use anymore. She was happy about that. She's pretty quick study. She's made 300 or 400 rounds of ammo already now, and is excited about it. She's a go-getter. So, yeah, good week. Good week here in Viejo Town. How about you, Scotsman? What's up over your way, bud?
Not much. Glad it's Friday. My one night off. I go back to work tomorrow night. So, been a busy week at work. And out here, pretty much just been doing stuff around the house. And it's just been too hot to do anything outside, really. So, finally got a cool day the other day. Went out and mowed the lawn. And then the mower died. So, yeah, we're back to that problem again. But I think it's just a belt. So, I think it's just a belt. So, hopefully it'll be an easy fix. But we'll get to that on a cooler day and look at it. But good to be here. Good to see everyone out there. Glad to see the chat's filling up already. Starting to fill up out there. So, good to see everyone out there. And just glad I can be here and hang out with you guys and hopefully have a good conversation.
Yeah, they out there are rocking and rolling, man. We got first question of the evening. What's up with Smith & Wesson's quality control anymore? I don't know the answer to that question, but I will say this. I'm confident that they will make it right if they have to send a new gun. And I was talking to CW 2 or 3 weeks ago when everybody was doing these 22 challenges, and I had to confess that I probably haven't bought any 22 ammo in probably between 10 and 15 years. I just don't shoot 22s that much, and I need to do something about that. I need to correct that. But if I remember correctly, and I won't say I hadn't shot any 22s in that long. The thing is, Aguila, if I remember right, it's just dirty. It just really makes your guns nasty. Does it shoot straight though? Shoot pretty tight groups?
Yeah, it actually would shoot straight. It just didn't want to pop off those rounds. And I misfire once in a while with rimfire stuff, is to be expected, but not at the rate this thing was misfiring. And I looked at the mainspring and it was as tight as it would go. It already had a horrendous double action pull on it. It was terrible, and it couldn't make it any stronger. So back it went, and everything else on the gun looked nice. Barrel's good shape, everything. And you could tell looking at it was brand new. They'd only run one round through it at the factory. Only one chamber was dirty. It wasn't very dirty. So they didn't test it very hard. I'll say that. Maybe they will now. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Well, and it's not just Smith. There's so many companies right now having all kinds of quality control issues, and
oh gosh,
you see it more and more with Taurus, and Taurus has always been hit or miss, but they're getting worse, and there's just so many of them are having problems.
Yeah, we have. What's the Smith & Wesson semi-auto 22 mag? It just became legit in California. A bunch of guys got it, and they had all kinds of problems with it. There's all kinds of burrs around the barrel and stuff.
Probably the Victory.
Yeah, that might have been it. I forgot which one it was now, but we're looking at them in the forums trying to find out. Hey, and anybody else had this problem with this 648? Couldn't find anything else, but that one there was all kinds of trouble with. So
it's the copy of or it's a similar copy to the Keltec.
Yeah.
The Victory is a different one.
I can't remember the name. It just came onto our roster recently here, and guys went out and grabbed it.
You're talking about the what the heck's it called? It's a something A. I forget what the heck it's called. It'll come to me.
Yeah, Smith and Wesson's having a little bit of innovation type problems too, aren't they? They're copying
Kel-Tec a lot. Yeah, with their shotgun, their 22. I think 3 of them, isn't it? It's at least 2. Their shotgun and their 22.
Artac and Daughter says M&P 22 mag, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
The Victory is more like their competition semi-automatic made to compete with the
long rifle
Mark series.
The Victory's a long rifle.
Yeah, long rifle. Wow. Insurance is going through the roof. There's Edward Petty's out there. We'll call it side chat here in just a few minutes. I haven't been able to type anything. I've been running around today. What's so bad about that is they let us out of work early, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for leaving at 2:00 today. They don't send emails to the back building. Scotsman knows where I work and the arrangement. He's been in my shop, and it's like us against them. It's that I call it the carpet over in the office building. But yeah, they don't let us know. And I got word that they were all leaving at 2:00, and even the guys down at maintenance were leaving at 2:00. But they didn't call nobody in technology.
Very nice of them.
Yeah, so I just left. And, I left at 2:00, and man, I had to be careful. It was like a parade out there. I mean, people going out of there, going way too fast, honking their horns. See, we're off all this coming week, so yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So, can I make an announcement, Mac Man? Can I tell it, or I'll let Walter tell it?
Yeah, if you're okay with it, Mac Man, when you're not here to say no. So just before the show started, I had a text from Mac Man, that's Julian, and he got through his citizenship exam and interview, and he is now officially a U.S. citizen right here in the good old U.S. of A. So congrats, Mac Man.
Congrats to Mac Man. Now you can pay taxes
Awesome,
like
man.
everybody.
We are proud to call you a brother citizen, Mac
Yeah.
Man. For that's for sure.
Walter. Fuzz says Elvis was the last to leave Jamie's building. No, he was the first one to leave. He leaves while everybody's still out yelling for encores.
Yeah.
Info Bros. I'm gonna have to back up here and see what he's talking about here.
Yeah, there's all kinds of companies having issues right now. It's been that way for the last couple of years. They're just getting worse and worse.
I bought that Kimber 10 millimeter 6 months ago or so. Went out, took it out the first day, got through a half a box of ammo, and front sight came off. Didn't come loose. Came the heck off. Fell off onto the ground. So that one went back.
Talking about Kel-Tec, that's something that those 22 mag Kel-Tecs did all the time. They ejected their front sight regularly. I glued mine in. It's what happens is that pipe, that little glowworm pipe, it's got a front and a back that holds it, and the middle is open, so it gathers light, so it glows, and it just wasn't. They didn't put it in right, and you got to melt the ends and kind of mushroom them so it stays in. But just a little dab of super glue, and it hasn't ever come out again. And I've shot the crap out of it. No.
Good.
So I was reading or watching some, one of the reasons I don't get to watch you guys' videos as much as I want is I'll put one of your videos on and then I'm over there working and then YouTube puts up whatever they want. So they got on a binge this morning about, and late yesterday afternoon, early this morning about the Memphis Belle. Uh, y'all remember the B-17 from World War II, the Memphis Belle?
Sure.
And what made me think of that is Chico's comment, not just guns with quality control engine that issues. That engine I pulled was installed 16,000 miles ago. Head was leaking. It was a warranty job, 20 hours to replace. All right, so to replace a engine in a B-17 Flying Fortress, the book said it took 25 hours. The guys that were on the ground in England that were working on those things got to where they could do it in 4 hours.
Wow.
That's awesome, man. There's something about your airplane rolling down that runway. You're in charge of keeping that airplane running. And they had a list of the stuff that got shot off and they'd replaced. So, what's going on with Walters? Big Al got banned.
He got a strike, yeah.
Yeah.
For what? Big Al got a strike.
Yeah. They don't need a reason anymore.
Yeah.
They can't even give you one if you ask them.
Why not? They just say you violated.
Yep.
Well, I feel violated.
What?
They won't tell you.
For supporting Christianity?
What? Good grief.
They'll hit you for anything, man.
Yep.
They don't care. The last time I got hit at 2:00 in the morning, 2 videos back to back.
Yeah, they did me that way on my previous channel. Middle of the night. Bada bing, bada bang. 2 of them at once. Don't give you a chance. They don't give you a chance to go in and, they won't say, hey, this is the stuff we don't like. Would you please go take your other videos down? Nope. You're done.
Yep.
So persecution's becoming a real thing. Wow.
Mm.
And 6-shooter Texan just missed buying 2 Vaqueros on Wednesday. Hate you missed that, man. Those are nice.
Yeah. I still don't own a Vaquero. I've been looking for one in 357. I haven't been able to find one. I'd like to find a used one.
There's one over here. Shop right down the road from me.
Is there?
Yeah. I'd like to find a 5.5 45 Colt old model Vaquero. New ones are all over the place, but the old ones I want stainless. I don't want blue. So it's not as common.
Oh my goodness. No wonder you missed it, 6. You just about had to be there for that when they put the price on the blame things.
Well, when you don't believe in God,
Big Al. Gosh sakes, Al.
I think Big Al's is a stainless steel 5.5 inch and 357 Magnum. if you get permanently banned for speaking the truth, well, so be it.
Hate speech.
I'm going to call it hate speech. Beyond me.
Goodness gracious, hate speech.
Yeah. I got one of those before years back when the COOF was going on. I got one for hate speech for telling people not to go out there and take the jab. Be free. Yeah, hate speech. Telling you to be free.
Walks has a new Vaquero 50.
Yeah, I got to load it up. I don't want a new one. I want an old one.
There you go, Walter.
I might have to come pay a visit and leave with more than I came.
There's Toy Town. There's Daniels out there. So let's go ahead and we got 41 folks watching out there. Let's go ahead and buzz through the side chat and say hey to all the nice people. How about S&W? Can we type that in, Walter? Is that acceptable?
Yeah. We'll give them some promotion even though they don't deserve it.
I get it. All right. So we got CW long shots on the panel and in the side chat, and they're gone. And Walter, of course, same thing. There's Big Al's out there. Yep. GGW Outdoors. How's my buddy? Jacob S. Trees are blowing. What's going on, brother? Info Bros. Papa's Place. Duffer 426 Tactical FUD. Bama Dad. 01 Guy. Walks Fletcher. Dwayne 7834. We're going to skip that one. Daniel God is my judge. M. Gabriel Rollis Carlos. GGW Outdoors again. Rich B. 6-shooter Texan. Edward Petty. Chico Wise.
Oh, the Reloader 762.
Corners and Doors. Garage Guy 879. Daniel God is my judge says CZ. Walks Fletcher says Colt. Glock. Come
Settle
on
down, Raj.
CW long shot. Again, let's see. Reloader 762 is out there. Daniel. You need to go to his house, Scotsman.
Yeah, he's got hammers, apparently.
How come he doesn't have a hammer, a wrench? Why in the world does Daniel not have a wrench? Wonder, can we make that happen? Probably not. Probably not without making a lot of noise. All right, I'm going to mute myself. Y'all carry on for a minute. And
while he's doing that, just a quick reminder, everyone. This coming weekend is the 4th of July, and don't forget, 5 o'clock Eastern, let freedom ring. Get your videos made, get them ready to post. and 5 o'clock Eastern, we blow up YouTube.
Ring that steel.
Remember, it doesn't have to be a long video. It can be a short video. The more videos we get up, the better. The goal every year is to try and get more and more every year. So if you're out there and you haven't even made a video before, it's really easy to do, really easy to upload. Don't be scared to do it. Get out there and do it. Do some shooting and have some fun. And let's let YouTube know they're not taking our freedom away.
M. Gabriel, CW, you got a power outage? Anybody else want a wrench while I'm at it? Daniel, try it now. You should have a blue wrench now.
He'd be winced, yeah. Check it though, Daniel. He might have slipped in a metric one on you.
Mine was missing the 10 millimeter.
It's always a 10 millimeter, man. Always.
Macman doesn't have one either.
Why does he need my wrench? He's got a ton of them on that truck.
He's got 3 truckloads full of them.
He's got a truckload of them.
If there's anybody who's not short on wrenches, it's Macman.
And there's Ron 2A Matters is a little bit late with his Smith & Wesson, but it's good to know he's out there. And while we're at it, you got a wrench too, Ron. All right, I think I'm giving everybody a wrench.
Blue Wrench Mafia, man. It's the way to do it.
Hey, man, we needed them that one night, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that's people always come on the chat on Sundays and go, "There's so many
That was
wrenches."
something.
Yeah,
That was
there's wrenches for a reason.
Wife got a 10 millimeter, and now she wants Nancy. You spelled that wrong, Daniel.
There's 3 Jeep Discovery. Late, but still acceptable.
Lizard Larry wants one too.
All right. Tackle Fudd needs a wrench.
Hey, there's
Chuck.
Senior Master Sergeant.
There's Chuck. A metric crescent wrench. Yep.
Yep. That's what I call them. I call them metric wrenches.
I got a metric watch. Keeps metric time.
Yeah, RTAC definitely needs one.
Ooh.
There's the hillbilly.
No, Andy, we don't have left-handed wrenches, but we'll give you a blue one. How about that? And Mock definitely needs a wrench. I thought you was going to work, brother. Look at all them blue wrenches. I'm almost as cool as Scotsman now.
Blue Wrench Mafia, man. The way to do it.
Mach 2. How has he got a different channel? Something happened to his other channel?
I think he's got 3 channels. He's got MCK Willie. Did I give Dale Pogue a wrench? That dude needs one right there.
That was just for a call out, James. We asked the viewers to write something out so their name pops up in order so that we can call everybody's name out without having to jump around and hunt for it. So we just chose Smith & Wesson tonight.
Dang, everybody's out at once, right? Mark, have a good time, buddy.
Yeah, Mark and his son are out at the airsoft event.
Ever Petty looks so lonesome without him.
Well, we got a sea of blue going on out there now.
I figured
Looks
out
like
how to do it.
Looks like the Dillon factory spilled a bucket of paint on the side shed. I don't know.
Once you go blue, you don't go back.
There it is. There's Abigail.
Why is the back door locked? Come on.
Who else we got in here?
There's Ozzy.
What's the matter, Hillbilly? Is your link not working, man? Dwayne looks lonesome too.
Oh, he's saying he didn't get the link, Jamie.
Oh,
How did that happen?
Oh, just refresh your page on StreamYard. Just refresh it. It should pop up. Mine has been doing that too.
Pat's working too.
Yeah, past few weeks when I turn it on, it's not there, and I just refresh it, and it's there.
Yeah, check and make sure it didn't go to.
didn't go in your junk drawer or something. That happened to me once.
All right,
Daniel,
reset.
sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
I was just telling him I resent the link.
Daniel's asking if everyone gets calendars. Well, you got to talk to Fuzzy about the calendars, man. Fuzzy's got the hookup apparently, so talk to Fuzz.
That's something I still haven't got for this year.
Me either.
I use my phone, so
I got one on my phone.
Sandy was always good about that. The one she put up is still out there on the kitchen in the cabinet.
Let's see.
Yeah. I still keep a paper calendar up in the kitchen too, right next to the fridge. You glance at it.
Yep. I used to write all her doctor appointments on it.
Yep.
Oh, I can always think of something to say. Oftentimes it's not pertinent, but I can think of things to say. Look at that guy slipped in the back door. I didn't even hear the bell ring. Did you wipe your feet? I hope you wiped your feet.
I sure did. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing good, Hillbilly. We're passing out blue wrenches tonight.
Awesome.
I think everybody got one now.
Hopefully some of them's 10 millimeter because that's always the first one I lose.
That's the one I was missing. Yep, everybody's blue.
That's so cool, ain't it? We need some red. I mean, the background's white. We're just patriotic this week. All right, so what we want to do, we want to talk about 3-gun tonight, and let's see if I can do this. I found some videos, but they're not videos that y'all can't go look up, and I feel kind of weird about showing y'all videos that y'all can go look up yourself. But we will, because we got to have some frame of mind of getting started here. All right, this one's, let's do this one first. I'm not liking this new computer a whole lot.
But you ain't got to look for the up arrows, so you're good.
Right.
3-gun has been called the X Games of the shooting sports. As the name implies, there's 3 different platforms: rifle, pistol, and shotgun. There's a total variety when it comes to 3-gun. You're going to be shooting different courses of fire, different targets at different distances with all 3 guns.
Obviously, there's a lot going on in 3-gun. You've got 3 times the gear, 3 times the ammo, and it only makes sense that it would be 3 times as difficult. But don't let that discourage you. Chances are, if you've already got a semi-automatic rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun, you've got everything you need to come out and play with the pros. So grab the gear that you have. Chances are, we have a division that fits you. One of the most impressive things about the 3-gun community is the people. Someone is probably going to take you under their wing and answer any questions that you may have. I also encourage you to find a range officer and volunteer to help him out a little bit. Help him reset, help him score. It's going to help you learn our game a little bit and take away some of the initial anxiety.
So grab your guns, find a match, and we'll see you there. Let's go shooting.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need to not get on our hands and knees to scrub those nasty toilets. Sorry about that. You just can't hit the buttons in time. I know that song. Mock, all I'll say to that is next time I go to LA, I'm going through Omaha. Daniel.
See, the problem is you gave him a wrench. Now he's gonna be out there causing trouble.
I don't even know what that
Chico was.
be a video coming soon, right? I want to shorten up my length of pull on my shotgun for cowboy action shooting, and I'm thinking I can take that recoil pad off and just put a hard butt plate on it. That'll take about half to 3/4 of an inch. They do.
Handsaw will work too.
That's what CW would do. I've seen him do it on his videos.
Yeah.
Take it over to the bandsaw and whack, whack, whack. There you go.
Give her a little sanding, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do Ricky's, but he didn't want me to. So you want me to shorten this? Nope. Took me about 20 minutes to shorten the barrel. It'll only take me about half an hour, 40 minutes to do the buttstock and fit a pad.
So 3-gun, you got to shoot. Vanessa, you can't do all pistols. It's a shotgun, rifle, and a handgun pistol.
Yep.
Y'all seen some of the guns. Let's look at another one. Let's see if I can get another one queued up here. That might explain it a little better.
Well, my favorite 3-gun would be shooting bird shot, buck shot, and slugs.
Like this one, this is from Guns and Ammo. It's a little longer, but I think it gives us a little bit more in depth. How to avoid disqualification. That would be important, wouldn't it?
Hi, this is Ian Harrison for Guns and Ammo, and today we're on the range at Albany Rifle and Pistol Club in beautiful sunny Oregon. And today we're going to explain how not to get disqualified in 3-gun. This is important because I see so many new shooters come to the range, and we want their first experience of going and shooting 3-gun to be a worthwhile and beneficial and happy experience. And the worst thing you can possibly do is get disqualified on your first time out. So the #1 cause for disqualifications in 3-gun is breaking the 180-degree plane. If you can imagine, we're looking straight down range there. We've got 180 degrees all the way over the side of me, top, bottom. If you break that 180-degree plane, if your muzzle goes that direction, you are going home. So let's not do that. So I can shoot all the way up to that 180-degree plane that way. I can transition that way, shoot 180 degrees that direction. And as long as my muzzle doesn't point that way by 1 degree, I'm safe. You can run all the way up to that 180-degree plane, but please do not break it. The second biggest reason for disqualifications in 3-gun is when you transition between the firearms. Because it's a 3-gun match, you're going to be dropping one gun, picking up another, and shooting again. So when you abandon a gun, it needs to be in a safe condition. There are generally 2 ways you can do this. The first one is to make the gun completely cold. No rounds in it, magazine out, chamber empty. The second way is to have the gun completely unsafe. And I say completely unsafe because it is possible on a 1911 to set that thing down and have the safety catch bump halfway so that you think it's engaged, but you can actually drop the hammer. A good friend of mine who's a match director in the MGM Ironman managed to get disqualified from his own match doing that. So a couple of examples. How can we do that? On an AR-15, you can either safety catch unsafe, abandon the gun. That's a safe gun. The other way to do it is safety catch unsafe. Dump the magazine out, clear the weapon. Safe gun. On a handgun, 1911 especially, this is the one to look for because if you're abandoning a Glock or any of the striker action guns, they generally have a safety catch incorporated into them. So you dump a Glock, it's already unsafe. On a 1911 though, you've got to make sure that safety catch is engaged when you place the weapon down. Otherwise, you're going to have to dump the magazine, clear it out. The other way to do it is to dump the magazine and just burn the round. If you burn that round in a safe direction pointing at a target, then you know that gun is completely clear. With a shotgun, if you're going to burn that round, well, with a tube gun, you've got to have to rack rack all those rounds out of the tube. That takes a long time. So with a shotgun, it's greater emphasis is placed in actually just putting the safety catch on, putting the weapon down in a safe condition, and running on to the next gun. So we've just explained how not to get DQ'd in a stage on a 3-gun match. So what we're just going to do now is go through this stage here. It's a really basic one. I've been teaching some classes this morning, and I've been using this stage in order to instruct some newbies. So it's a pretty simple stage. And we're going to start off with the rifle loaded and made ready at the low ready behind this barricade. And then I'm going to use the barricade in order to shoot 3 targets downrange, head boxes only. So in order to do that, I'm going to use maximum use of the barricade. I'm going to stabilize the barricades to start off with using my foot. And I'm going to clamp the gun onto the barricade leaning into it. And this produces a really strong, stable position. So I can use this position here to shoot all 3 targets through the head box. Then if you catch applied, I'm then going to move really quickly into this location here where I'm going to shoot the targets again, engage them using the bodies. I'll shoot them 2 rounds in the body from this low aperture. To get in the low aperture, you've got a couple of different positions you can go into. You can either roll over and shoot it like that. It's kind of funky and difficult. And if you're a young guy and get in and out of those positions easy, then that's the way to do it. You can drop both knees on the ground to get a little lower. You can put one leg out like that, shoot it in that position. But that really need to be a Russian gymnast in order to do that one effectively. But once I've shot those targets, I'm then going to dump the rifle, put down a safe rifle there, move over to the shotgun. With my shotgun, I'm going to pick up and then shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steel targets right in front of me. Transition this direction, watching my muzzle so I don't break that 180-degree plane. From inside this shooting box, I'm going to take steel target number 1, steel target number 2, ground the shotgun, draw my handgun, and finish the stage. Come with me here and we'll finish the stage up. From this shooting box and through this port, I'm going to shoot 2 steel targets on the right. I'm going to shoot the Texas Star over there. When you're shooting the Texas Star, remember to start from the top and work your way down. And then I'm going to finish up on the 2 steel targets on the left. And that's my course of fire. Let's see how it runs. Obviously, at this point, there'd be an RO following me, but instead of an RO, I've got a camera guy.
You ready? Go. That was a fairly pedestrian run for one stoppage on the gun using low-powered ammo, but I went out fairly clean. All right, got some interesting comments out there.
Yeah, I'm with James Black. If I had to get down that low to shoot, coming back up, I might have to call for an ambulance or a helicopter or something.
yeah. That whole spreading the legs like you spread the legs. Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I'm probably
Daniel's leaving. Good night, Daniel.
Just roll on to the next spot.
Taking your wrench and going.
Yeah. So there you go. I think it's more of a young man's game because of the running, and I mean these guys weren't exactly spring chickens as you could see, but you know, especially the 2 in the first video. But that guy in the second video, he won that that competition that they had on TV. I forget what channel was on. It was one of the cable channels, not one of the mainline things. But Top Shot, that shooting competition show that went on for like 8 weeks, and they crowned a champion. So he's not chopped liver. He proved his value, but I can see the appeal. I mean, it's all modern stuff, and
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You can shoot it. You know, it's a score. You know, you post a score with how you shot, and it's timed. So if you don't or can't run or get down, a lot of the stages, if you let's say you have a impairment like I do, I can't get down. You ask the range officer, what's the alternate or what's the penalty? Because sometimes they'll have an alternate that you could shoot. Other times they'll say, well, if you don't do it that way, you know, you get a penalty of so many seconds. So you can still shoot it. You just take a penalty in time for not bending over or laying down or, you know, whatever they want to do. And then, of course, you're going to get a penalty if you don't run because you're going to shoot slower. So it's not issued to you, but you're going to get it because, you know, the other guy's going to shoot it in, let's just say 5 seconds with running, and you're going to do it in 15 with shuffling along. So you're going to get a 10-second penalty, a time penalty to finish the same course of fire. And generally, the ones I've been to have been smaller. I've been to as many as 5 stages at a shoot, but most of the time it's like 2, 3. Sometimes it's just one great big stage put together, like you're running through a gauntlet type of thing. It's all whatever that club sets up and however they do it. But it's always fun, and there's always ways around parts of it. Like even if you don't have a shotgun or even if you don't have a rifle, I'd still say you should try it. Go, because there'll be somebody there who'll let you borrow one, lend you one, without any problem at all. There's always somebody willing, and generally, some official will be there, fully set up, and will be calling the match or will be officiating the match. So he won't be shooting. So more than likely, he or she will be more than willing to help you out with that, and you know get you a rifle or a shotgun to use.
I'm with Tucker. I think you should be able to jump on a golf cart and ride one stage to the next.
Well, that part of it generally isn't a time issue. You know, you can just walk across the range to the next whatever range they have. So it's usually not too far, and it's not timed, that part. The only part that's timed is once you start shooting. But
we have a sighting.
It's really neat. It's a lot of fun.
You guys ready for the countdown?
Oh yeah.
On 3, 2, 1. Hey. Hiya, Mario, brother.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Bada Bean?
Well, I'd watch some competition. I thought for sure they were calling it 3-gun, but they were doing the shotgun, pistol, but then their rifle was like several 100 yards out.
Again, it's all how the range is set up. Like one of the ranges I go to, they have a 600-yard range, and they almost always have bonus targets inside a relay. So usually you got to go out and tend your targets, count your targets, you know, how hits and misses. So they'll throw steel out there at 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 yards and not make it mandatory. But if you get to the end, or if you know you're really shooting well, you want to bolster your score, or you didn't shoot so well, but you can shoot long range, you give a chance for a bonus points, and they'll have it that way. So you just shoot and they'll listen for the ring, and it's up to the range officer there, you know, the guy with the timer behind you, to call if you got it or not.
Yeah, this one it was the last stage, and it was an elevated deck, and your long rifle was up there already. So after you did the pistol, the shotgun, you climbed up there and you laid down prone, and then that was the gun part of it. And
it's all just the way they set up the stage. It can be anything, whatever somebody's imagination can dream up that's safe. That's what makes it fun.
That's the fun part of it. I've even done one where we were in a moving vehicle, shooting rifle in a moving vehicle. So they can come up with all kinds of stuff. And like CW said, the targets can be anywhere from close range all the way out. Just depends on the range itself. But yeah, they'll mix it up, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just like any other competitions out there. Get out there, do it. CW said it. There's always someone there that's going to help you. Always. Doesn't matter what the competition is. Get out there and do it. Folks will help you.
Yes, Abigail. You can generally shoot any firearm that you bring, as long as the caliber classification. Like they don't want you shooting a 300 Magnum on the rifle. For obvious reasons. You're shooting at closer ranges, and the targets are not set up to withstand that kind of stuff. But most of the ones I've shot will allow pistol caliber carbines or 223, 7.62, 300 blackout, those kind of cartridges. Some are a little more picky and won't allow pistol caliber carbines because there's a classification of pistol caliber carbine in 3-gun matches. So it all depends on the club you shoot. And you just ask the RO when you sign up, and generally you can, as long as you're not trying to shoot a 300 Magnum or something like that. I've seen those tactical shotguns, the AR, AR style and AK style, with the 2 barrels side by side and 3 magazine tubes. And generally they don't do very well because you're shooting pretty close on the shotgun stuff, and you have a hard time remembering that you have to aim at a different point than where your barrels are hitting because you're so close. But they generally let you use it. We had a guy came this one time with his daughter, and she was about 10 years old, I think, and she was following her dad around, and she asked if she could shoot one of the relays, but she didn't shoot a pistol, so she shot the whole thing with a 10-22. And because it wasn't a lot of people there, and everybody in our group agreed to let her, because it was our time she was using, she shot it with a 10-22. And she shot really good, as I remember. I think she beat her dad. If you can, score a 10-22 against a pistol, a rifle, or shotgun. But, it was a good time, and that's the whole point of it. Introducing new shooters, having a good time, and being safe. So, yeah, I would say, you maybe will call ahead and ask if you got something that's different. But, a fighting rifle to me is going to be a fine caliber for that, as long as it's not too big for their steel. If it's paper, obviously it doesn't matter, but they don't want to make pock marks in their steel.
Absolutely, Abigail. And that's the point of that first video. They want you to come, bring whatever you've got, and somebody will help you and show you what you need. And as I'm watching, and I'm getting ready for cowboy action shooting, and what I'm seeing in the videos is they're like, one guy in particular, he's from Australia. He said, go to a match before you buy anything. Go see what everybody's got and what they're using, and then make your purchasing decisions based on that. And I imagine that that 3-gun would be the exact same thing. I think it looks like a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a total blast. What we do at one club that I shoot a lot is we have those blue barrels set out where there's transitions. And if somebody does not have holster or mag pouches or ability to carry them. We just walk through the stage with them, and they put a couple of mags on the blue barrels when they get there, so they can reload those blue mags, reload off the top of those blue barrels instead of having to carry the magazines. You know, the pistol comes in a rug because you don't have a holster. You can't just carry it around. It's got to be, in a rug. So you put it in a rug, or we'll give you a rug, a pouch, and you bring it up to the line, put it on the barrel, open it up, and you can have your hand on it ready to go, load it up once the match starts. But they don't want you walking around with just a gun in your hand. So you can have it in your holster, that's fine, but they don't want it walking around your hand, so you got to use a pouch. The same for your rifles. Either you got a cart that you put the rifle in, or you put it in a gun case. But that's just that particular range's rules. But you want to be prepared if that's what you find on yours.
One of the big things is make sure you got a good solid rig for your pistol, because you're running hard. So you want to make sure it's secure, it's not going to fall out as you're running around.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't go to some of these matches or shoot one before you start investing, because you may find that you just don't need what you think you do before you start, and no sense in wasting money. And also, if you talk to the guys there, the shooters, they may have extra stuff, or you may be able to work a deal, and they tell you what you need. Everybody's got extra stuff. So, and like I said, I've never been to one that wasn't falling over themselves to help new shooters. All you have to do is ask. I use a drop holster, and I had one club that didn't like it. Didn't want me to use a drop holster. I don't know why. That was their rule.
Yeah, when I first got into doing some of the shooting stuff, I reached out to other folks that have been doing it for a long time and asked them, hey, what should I look at? Yeah, I got tons of experience with shooting and this, that, the other, but when it comes to that stuff, I didn't know anything. So I'm always going to ask someone else that knows. And Rick, Is Your Six Covered, was one of the ones that gave me some really good places to look at. And I got the Safariland rig. That rig is solid as a rock. Wasn't cheap, but solid as a rock. Ain't going nowhere. So, once you got it on, you're good to go. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, bullseye commands, Dave. Yes, sir.
And Chico's made a couple of good points out there for anybody that's interested in it. Just go compete against yourself. Watch yourself get better. Go have a good time, and I think what you're going to find is what I've heard a lot of people that shoot competitions say is, shooting's always fun, but when you get to meet people that think like you do, and I think that's a big thing. And
oh yeah, one of the clubs that I shot a lot, we don't do any trophies. There's no recognition unless you're shooting against your buddy or guys you bring, people you bring that you want to compete yourself against. Otherwise, it's just practice score, and the scores get posted. And like Chico says, there's nothing to worry about. You're shooting against yourself unless you make it against somebody else while you're there. Other clubs that I've been to, they have pretty much they're all run like that, but they'll have like a $5 pot or a $10 pot you can put money in, and the higher scores will get prize money out of that, the money that people pay to be in the pool. But we don't do it just because we don't want to draw that kind of competitor. We want it to be fun, and we don't want it to be about that. We want it to be about safety and having a good time shooting. And if you want to be competitive with your buddy or somebody at the match, well, that's on you. But the match isn't set up that way. It's just you shoot, you get a score, you post a score on practice score, you look at it the next day when they post your scores, and you keep track of it yourself.
You got to remember, this is one of the big things I try to explain to people. There's a huge difference between shooting competition and just walking up and shooting the target that just doesn't move. You're running and gunning, and you're putting yourself in a different situation. You're getting yourself where the adrenaline's going. Your breathing is a lot faster, and you have to figure out how to set yourself down as you get to each station and start shooting. Because if you start trying to shoot and you're not composed, you're not going to hit what you're aiming at. You're going to have all kinds of problems. So it does make you a much more efficient shooter in all regards, because you are putting yourself in a different situation versus just standing at a target that doesn't move and just pulling the trigger all day long.
Yeah, when I go to a new shoot that I don't know or I can't get information on, I like to shoot a pistol caliber carbine. I like to shoot that. That's my rifle. But if I don't know, I'll bring a 223, an AR, as a second gun, second rifle. I always bring two pistols in case something happens to my first one. So, a lot of people are the same way. They'll have a second gun there. So, that's part of the reason why a lot of people are willing to lend something to you to shoot. You're not going to leave with it. You're not going anywhere with it. You're shooting right there next to them, right before them, right after them. So it's not really a big deal. You're not going anywhere. When you do these shoots, you travel with a squad. You get put in squads. Now, squad can be 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and it can be just at random, 5, 6 people put in a squad and you go, or you can show up with 4 or 5 friends and you say, we want to be in a squad together. They put you in a squad together, so you all shoot together. So it'll be that group that you're talking to, dealing with through your whole day's shoot, or half a day shoot, however it is. And it's a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's always nice, smart to keep a high point rifle and pistol for a backup.
I've seen a number of carbines, high point carbines shot, but I've never seen anybody shoot one of these with a pistol. But it would shoot fine. It would
Probably not.
So we got a couple good comments out there, and you brought it up for a second there, Jamie. But we got this one from Six Shooter. The buzzer makes you go brain dead. So let's address this comment, because this is a really good comment.
Yeah.
When you go to these shoots, they'll walk you through the stage, and then you have to come up with a plan in your head as to how you're going to run that stage. As soon as that buzzer goes off, just like Six Shooter says, everything goes out the window. It happens more often than not. It's a big thing. As soon as you hear that buzzer, your brain just completely goes a different direction. And then the other one was from Chico, and talking about how moving will humble you. It absolutely will, because you got to learn how to move and not be bouncing up and down as you're trying to pull that trigger and be on target.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the mouth.
That's it.
Yeah, that is true.
And yeah, and it's like, you can go and you can practice and you can do all these things and get better and better and better. And then when there's something about when golly, I gotta sneeze. Ah, man, I hate that. Anyway, I'm sorry. Uh, it's when people are watching you and they're timing you, and it's like it's a different ball game. It's different. It's completely.
I have never had an issue or seen anybody given a problem with small guns as long as they can shoot the course of fire that's in front of them. They might say something some ranges if you showed up with a Colt 45 Model P single action, but semi-auto 9mm 40 45 38 Super, any caliber like that, it's fine. You're going to be fine. You may not be as competitive, but like we keep saying, you're shooting against yourself. So as long as you can shoot the course of fire with the firearm, and it's like you showed up with a 44 Magnum, they may say no, just because it beats up the targets. But generally speaking,
you use what you're proficient with. You use what you're proficient with, and that's the thing. You want to make sure. We always talk about the old saying of beware of the man with one gun, for good reason, because you need to be proficient. So take what you're proficient with.
One match I shot, I brought my Glock 20 10mm, and I asked if it was okay, and they said it was fine. Well, I shot this plate rack, and it's got a little bit of recoil, so I won't say that it blacks out, but the gun comes up and it blocks your target, so you don't see, and you can't always hear when they're really fast. I heard it hit steel, but you can hear a plate rack hit steel, and you're hitting low. You're hitting on the bottom of the plate rack, so you hear a clank, but you don't know exactly where it hit. Well, I'm shooting across, bang, 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 and I go and I stop. And the guy with the timer tapped me on the shoulder and says, "Go, you got him." I was hitting them, and they were going down and come right back up with the force of the power of the round. So I was shooting. He would tap me on the shoulders. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Because I couldn't tell. So that's the biggest reason they'll limit bigger calibers, heavier calibers. The number of rounds is going to depend on the setup of the course. Generally, I brought like 200 rounds of handgun and 100 rounds of rifle and a couple boxes of shotgun shells.
It'll vary a lot, though. There are some. I've been to one before. It was almost 500 rounds just in pistol. So it'll vary a lot.
How many stages there are? How long the shoot is? It totally. You want to ask the question of the shoot when you sign up.
They'll generally tell you on their website what the round count is, and always take extra. Always.
Yeah, because that doesn't count for misses.
Yeah, always take extra because you never know if you're gonna have some failures or misses or anything like that. Yep. Always take extra. Yeah,
you get a Polish Star instead of a Texas Star, and you say I never shot one of those, and before you know it, you got 3 mags in, and you've only hit 2 targets.
Oh, that's something I wanted to talk about. That video we watched, that dude on that Texas Star, that is as efficient as I have ever seen that done. I've done Texas Stars a couple of times, and it was spinning like crazy, man. But the way he did it, starting at the top and going both ways at once like that was. I mean,
you won't shoot it that well when you start. It does twist and turn, but it's pretty consistent on how it does it. It'll turn and then it'll slow and come back, and you want to shoot when it's as still as it can be, and you'll be.
One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're shooting a Texas Star is they move their gun way too much instead of just a slight adjustment, because you don't have to go a huge range to make that difference for that one target.
You don't want to follow through with a handgun. You want to spot shoot.
And another thing, don't chase it. You know it's coming right there. Pick out where it's going to be and then pop it.
Yep. Sit and wait. You're gonna burn more time trying to just keep going rounds down range versus hanging on and watching for it, timing it.
It depends on how well you shoot that particular stage. You know, is it just a plate rack, half a dozen silhouette targets, and then 2 or 3 shotgun targets, and then a long range rifle shot. In that case you're going to cover it with a magazine, or the magazine and the rifle, the pistol, and a shotgun. It all depends on how they set up that stage. It really is. It could be just a few rifle shots, could be all rifle shots, could be one pistol. It's however the imagination of the match director for that stage. One place that we went to, we would rely on help to set everything up. So anybody who showed up early to help set up would get free lunch, or they get free casings pick up at the end, or you get some benefit for doing it. But you get to see how all the stages are set up. You get to have input as to where targets go, how things are going to be. So that's an option if you have time to do something like that. Get there early and help out, and then you'll know even better.
Yeah, trying to give you an average number for that is going to be difficult to do. Again, it's just plan ahead of time. Look at the website. See, they'll tell you what the round count is, and always have extra with you just in case, because stuff happens. So,
All right, let me share this. I think all y'all find this interesting. You get an email to sign up to register for the match, and one of the lit tabs is a diagram and a description of the stages. So let's take stage 1 right here. 10, 10, 6. You got 10 shots out of your revolver, 10 shots out of your rifle, 6 shots out of your shotgun. And then it tells you the course. This is going to be tricky right here. Target 1, 3, 5, 4, 2. Bang, bang, bang. So you got to skip one and then hit the 2 that you skipped. And like 6-shooter Texan says, you can be thinking that before, and you can stand there and watch the other guys do it. But when that buzzer goes off, you go brain dead, man. It's like your mouth goes dry and everything. Good night, Andy. Thanks for being here, buddy. So there's 5 stages tomorrow. And there's one that I'm confused on. 11, 10, and 2. 17, 7, 6. Engage the targets in a 1, 7, 7, 6 sweep. Reload rifle anytime after the beep. So 1, then 7, then 7, and then 6. I'm wondering if that's with rifles and pistols. So yeah, you need to reload the rifle and not the pistol, because that takes too long. And so, all right, that's odd. That usually doesn't happen. So if you're shooting 5 stages, you can count on 20 rounds at each stage of your pistol and rifle ammo. So right there is 100 rounds. If you're shooting 5 stages, that's 100 rounds of ammunition.
Is that your match on Saturday, Jamie?
This is my match tomorrow morning.
That's a cowboy match.
Right. And so I'm wondering if they do this with, if they've got them diagrammed out and on these other competitive shoots too, like 3-gun. That way, Abigail could figure out.
Some of them will post the stages, but a lot of them will generally just post a round count. And then they don't want you to have too much advantage walking into it. So they'll generally give you a round count, and then once you get there and you're going through everything, again, they'll do the whole stage walkthrough, and then you can figure out your plan from there. But a lot of places don't usually post the actual.
That's what this is.
Right. I'm just saying, a lot of times they don't usually do that.
I think it depends on the club too. 6-Shooter Texan says their club does.
Yeah, usually a lot of places will just give you a round count, but again, it's individual. There's a lot of times you'll see stages posted, but most places usually don't.
I'm just hoping my shotguns work tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, 6 is saying only the big matches they don't post. So that makes sense.
Yeah, if you go to like state, the Dale Pogue's got to print out for his match tomorrow. Yeah, I think there's Harm. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Harm.
I think what goes on most times, they shoot 5 stages and they it's 20 rounds for each stage, so you can pretty well count on 100 rounds. But tomorrow there's one with 11, so you got to have 101 rounds tomorrow. And another thing, I think the way 3-gun is different from and USPSA and IDPA, I think in those disciplines you keep shooting until you hit what you're aiming at, and the extra shots become a penalty on the time thing. That's one thing we should have got more in detail about USPSA when we talked about that. And I know with Bullseye, it's, you shoot and that's your score. That's it. And with Cowboy, it's you either hit it or you miss it. And then they've got spotters that count the misses. And then that adds 5 seconds onto your time. And a procedural is 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a set number of rounds though.
Right.
Well, with the 3-gun, they'll tell you, what it takes for targets, but that's not what you're going to shoot for sure. If you're good at steel plate on a rack, and you can hit those 5 or 7 plates, 1 shot each, it's 5 or 7 shots. But if you can't, you need more. When you're shooting paper, there's no extra because there's no reason for extra. You're not really going to tell where you shot, or cardboard, But on steel, you can tell. Clang, bang, it falls over. Or if you're shooting poppers, you hit them, they fall over, and You shoot at them and miss them, well, you shoot again. You shoot and it doesn't go over, well, you shoot it again. So, it may be a 2 magazine course of fire, 20 shots or 18 shots, but you may need 3 magazines or 5 magazines depending on how good you shoot.
Yeah, no, shotgun. Wait a minute. Y'all say hey to Miss Bulldog. Hey, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog and Miss Bulldog.
Hey.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
The big howdy.
Yep, big holiday.
So, like shotgun, you would shoot over until you knock over the things, or in cowboy you can decide if you're going to shoot it over again, but you gotta make up your mind. Right, a miss is 5 seconds. You make it reload your shotgun and knock it down quicker than 5 seconds. But yeah, armament and axes, I think it nailed it right there. Reactive targets versus paper targets. So like you could, yeah, well, anyway. Walter, you ain't said a whole lot. You don't do 3-gun, huh?
Nope, not a competitor.
That must be why you're not married, because if you get married, you learn how to be a competitor just to survive. So I have a match every day, me and my wife, and she usually wins.
Yeah, it's a good thing there are no guns involved, huh?
Yeah.
I'm here to learn just like everybody else.
We all learn so much from each other. I guess that's why we keep coming back and doing this.
Must
Every
be
Friday night, ain't it?
Kind of miss having Gene here tonight. We got no idea what Hot Pot's got tonight. Sure, he's got something. We just don't know what it is.
He's exhausted, man. He's been
I'm
out
sure.
in that heat up there and working all day in that sun. And
I'm sure that
Lord
took
have
the steam
mercy.
out of him.
So I guess we should probably get ready for the verse of the week.
Closing in on that time, close enough.
A&A says he loves 3-gun competition. If it wasn't so much running and bending over and getting back up.
Yeah, the bending over part's pretty easy. It's that second half of that you talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
The gravity will take care of the first half of it.
Well, again, technically you don't have to run. You can, obviously it's better if you do, if you can, but you don't have to run. Just go as fast as you can go, but just get out there and do it.
Learn as you go.
Yeah, especially those of us that's got belly on us. You lean forward, you have to run to keep your balance.
All right. Tell it for true, brother. Last week, I think we only did verses 1 and 2 of chapter 7. We're continuing to go through the Sermon on the Mount, and I know we made it. I don't think we made it to the speck in your brother's eye. Did we do that? You think we did that, Walter?
I believe we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I believe that's where we left off at, right?
Well, let's just go to verse 6 with that in mind. let's back up a little bit and go through. Let's just read these so we refresh ourselves. Matthew chapter 7, starting in verse 3. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye? And look, a plank is in your own eye. Hypocrite. First remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye.
Yes.
So I don't think we did that much. Obviously, we're talking about going back to verse 1, judge not that you not be judged, for with what judgment you judge, you will be judged, and the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. So let's look at verse 6 with that refresher in mind. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. This is a very controversial verse right here. There's a lot of debate as to what we're talking about here. All right, first things you need to understand is in Jewish society in the first century, dogs were despised. They were wild creatures. They weren't really domesticated as such. I mean, they were domesticated in that they were dogs and not wolves, but they didn't really have homes. Only Matthew in The Chosen has a dog. Remember, if y'all watch that. That was a joke. Come on. Anyway, so dogs are despised. Swine as pigs, they ran wild too, and in Jewish society, you were forbidden from eating any pork, any pigs. Pork was not on your diet. So these are animals that are not thought of well. So when we read this, do not give what is holy to the dogs, I think exactly what that's talking about is meat that had been used in a sacrifice at the temple that was set aside for the priest. They didn't. It was not good. It was. What's the word? It was. I can't think of the word I want to use, but it was not allowed and not looked upon well if a priest gave that meat, even if it was on the verge of going bad, to the dogs. And then when we talk about do not cast your pearls before the swine, pearls were the most expensive gemstones in the ancient world because it took so long for oysters to make a pearl. They were very, very, very expensive. So what we're talking about here is we're not really talking about pearls or things that are holy meat. What we're talking about is the gospel. What we're talking about is holy things. And remember, we're going back to that judge not lest ye also be judged. It's what they're telling you here is be careful on who you are talking to about godly things, and particularly about in-depth doctrine with people who are not going to understand it. And what we're seeing here is we're coming very, very close. Well, now we are in that territory of predetermination and predestination when you look at the true meaning of what this verse means. So be careful about what you share with and with who you sharing it with. Do we need to be telling everybody we come in contact with about Jesus and salvation and his plan of salvation, him dying on the cross to save us so we don't have to pay the price for the things we need to tell everybody that. But when it gets into more holy and more in-depth doctrine, we need to be careful about who we're sharing it with, because lest they trample them under their feet, they ain't going to understand it, because the Holy Spirit has not made enlightened them to see the holy things of God. They're not going to understand it. And that next phrase there, and turn and tear you to pieces, they may even go so far as to get mad at you and then turn around and, abuse you. So that's my take on verse 6. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a little bit different than kind of how I've thought of it. I've had always thought of the meaning of that one saying more like, don't waste your time trying to teach or preach to those who aren't going to listen anyway. I guess that's saying the same thing, but that's kind of what it has seemed like to me, that there's a time and a place for everything, and that there's going to be certain individuals who aren't going to listen for whatever the reason, and their reasons may be just, but you might be better off spending your time in a more fruitful direction.
Yeah, like shooting 3-gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that last phrase there, and turn and tear you to pieces,
Yeah,
that takes it to another level. And
you're right.
Hillbilly, thoughts?
Yeah, I basically kind of the same thing there is what you guys are saying is what I always understood it. No matter what you say, sometimes, maybe certain people or whatever, it's never going to change their mind, or whatever. And so, it's like I used to tell my middle daughter, it's like, well, you can go out there and argue with a fence post all day, but you're not going to change its mind. It's still going to be a fence post when you get done. And, so that's kind of, I think, in other parts of the Bible there, it talks about, I think during those people that might be like that, you better to show, your actions and stuff like that, rather than to try to, argue with them about something or whatever, it's kind of falls along lines of politics, I mean, as far as that point goes, some people's made in their ways. And I do agree. I don't like what you said. I want to go back to that. This is not saying do not share, the word with people, it's not, I don't think it's saying that at all. It's just once you share your word or whatever it might be, and they're totally against it. I believe it's saying, it's time to move on, not sit there and keep going back and forth with them. And I've never really quite understood that last verse there, or the end of that, as you'll be trampled. I don't really know how to take that part of it personally.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough chunk. And Bama Dad helps us out there. A stumbling block to Jews and folly to Gentiles. We preach Christ crucified. A stumbling block to Jews and folly to the Gentiles. So that kind of helps put into perspective that last phrase there. Turn on you and tear you to pieces. It's a stumbling block to the Jews. You think about what happened to Jesus on the cross. I mean, and all 12 of the apostles except one, and that's John. They killed every one of them. And it's just pure foolishness to the Gentiles. I think sometimes we just we're sheltered, and we don't give the seriousness. Yeah. There you go, Bama Dad. I believe you tell the truth in love, let the person disseminate it for themselves. And that's what that verse is talking about, both of those verses. Walks, I know what you're talking about, brother. I got a new keyboard, and I can't find the volume to turn this computer up and down. And then when I finally did found it, it don't work. I know, first world problems. I like this comment too. It's in their nature. Their job is to be a dog or to be swine. Trying to impress or change the mind of a wild animal, it's not going to change them. And some people, when it comes to the gospel, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, very true.
And I think another thing that last phrase of that verse says too is you want to be careful not to turn somebody off completely from the gospel, to make them hate the Bible and Jesus and have no opportunity to come to salvation in Jesus. I think when you start beating people over the head with your Bible, I think that's what you're closing in on.
There's a reason that the term Bible bashers came out.
Yeah.
I just a weird thought just crossed through my pea brain, and I had heard an expression long ago that it just occurred to me may have come, or at least had its root in this particular passage. But have you guys ever heard that saying that never try to teach a pig to sing; it wastes your time and annoys the pig? That might have come from this. Think about that. It's kind of similar. Didn't mean to make light of the passage, but it just hit me. I bet that's where that saying came from.
Harm sums it up.
Yep.
That's the best commentary on this verse I've heard yet. Throwing pearls at them just make them angry. And walks ain't wrong either. Dogs are the only creature that will love you unconditionally. Period.
Till you forget to feed them one night in a row. then that scenario changes a little bit. You just start getting that stink eye. What'd you forget tonight, buddy?
Start giving you the eyeball.
Yep.
That's exactly right, Bama Dad. Got to have a willing heart.
A teachable spirit.
Chuck, that's no way to talk about your wife, man. She's standing right beside you.
I couldn't hear you.
I was telling Chuck, that's no way to talk about his wife. She's standing right beside him.
Ouch. And that's the truth. It's the Holy Spirit that does the work.
Who walks?
Let me tell you something about cats, Walks. It's their world. And we just need to be grateful that they allow us to pet them and feed them. And
It's been said that, dogs have masters, but cats have staff.
Yeah. Yep.
cats think they are God, and that's just not the case. But they do think it. Well, I'm glad she didn't hear that, Bulldog.
He knows I'm just poking fun.
He does. We ought to haul off and go down to New Orleans and visit him.
Yeah, we should do that next year.
Yeah, make sure you go like in beginning of August.
Say that again, Hillbilly.
Make sure you go down there to New Orleans about the beginning of August. You'll lose a good 30 pounds.
Lord tell it for true. We've been talking this week. It's been hot around here. That's true too, Walks. Cats think of their owners as servants. We've been talking about temperatures we see on our car thermometers. The highest one I've ever seen was in Gulfport, Mississippi in June, 115 degrees.
Yeah.
Now, I've never been way out west. I've never been farther west than Texas and Oklahoma. But
yep.
One of the hottest ones I had, Jamie, was when I first came here. It was in California. It was 110 degrees. And I was out on the water with a buddy of mine who I had met when I came over here, who was also from Scotland, coincidentally. And he had a boat and stuff, so we were out on his boat. And when I got home, I couldn't walk for 3 days. I couldn't walk for 3 days because my legs were burning so bad. I was literally pulling sheets of skin off my legs.
ooh,
Oh, man.
And I mean sheets of skin. It was horrible. So I remember to put suntan lotion on my back, my arms, my face, my head, and all that. I forgot my legs.
Ugh.
I'm not too far from Death Valley, and I frequently would cross Death Valley coming back from a motorcycle tour. And the hottest I ever came through Death Valley was 120.
Wow.
You don't spend a whole lot of time down in Death Valley when it's that hot.
No.
Yeah. I think the hottest I ever saw in Missouri was right around like 98, somewhere around there in Missouri.
We get up over 100, but not very much. But the bad thing is we can be 103 and the real feels like 120.
Well, the problem out there is that the humidity is just so dry.
There's Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
And there's Chad.
And Chad Kelly.
Guys.
Mr. Clean Gun himself is here.
Yeah, I need to get in touch with Chad. We need to get him on to talk about PRS here in the next week or so.
Oh, that'd be great. If we can break him out of work long enough to get in.
Yeah, if he can leave work in time to get here at 8 o'clock. Can you join us, Chad?
Just tell him you got a prior engagement. Gotta leave work early.
Yeah. Think about it. I'll try to be getting in touch with you over this coming week. I hope you can come talk about precision rifle shooting. It's much like 3-gun, and except for it's just the one gun. A lot of moving and shooting at different ranges.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he says he'll try to make a plan to make it. That'd be great.
Cool, man.
Awesome.
Great.
That'd be fun.
You can get in touch with me at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. You have to spell it out. Okay, we got to go through the room. We got to clear the deck for Gizzard Gary coming up, and we always let Mr. Hillbilly go first because he has to go help over there. And so we got coming up this week.
Oh man. Finally finished up the recoil test on the scope on the 12 gauge. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I love shotguns, and I've well, I guess I've never had one with a scope on it and shooting out at 50 yards either, so I was really surprised that scope mounts held up wonderful. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to probably back to the Bear Creek Arsenal 201, that 22 long rifle with the bull barrel. We got some more shooting to do with it and some fun stuff. So that's what we'll be doing. And then Saturday night, we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you ain't doing nothing, swing by and say howdy. We always try to have a good time. So anyway, I always appreciate you guys asking me on here. I thank you very much. Sorry I was late. What a great way to start off a weekend. I just love it right here at Georgia Shooting Connection. So,
and this week's particularly interesting because a lot of us have off next week, or at least Thursday and Friday off of next week. So big holiday. Happy birthday, America. Thanks for being here, Hillbilly. We appreciate you more than you know.
Well, thank you. And if you don't mind, I want to say one more thing. If you are a content creator, or even if like you're not most usually, don't forget, I definitely just started doing this because everybody else does it, and it's really fun. Let Freedom Ring. That's posting a video on the 4th of July, and I think Scotsman, can you cover that more when it gets up to you, buddy?
Absolutely.
Or any of the rest of you. So yeah.
Yep.
So be making plans because that's coming up pretty quick. So thank you all very much.
Thanks, Hillbilly. We appreciate you, man. Mr. Walter, what you got coming up this week?
Well, we got Free the Few continuing to go on and forward over on the Rumble channel. That's where all my actual casting and reloading, stuff is happening over there. I can only do bits and pieces here on YouTube. But now that the 45 ACP thing is done, I've kind of floundering around a little bit. I got a couple of ideas, one of which we're going to start on Monday. I got some used gear that needs TSE cleanup parts and piecing it back together to make it work. So we're going to start that, and I've got enough of that stuff laying around here to last at least a month. So we're going to do first piece of that come Monday. And then Monday day, I'm going to head to the range and ring some steel for a video for Thursday. So that'll be fun. I haven't decided what I'm going to shoot yet, but we'll get something done. One of the handguns, no doubt. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. I've got my my rookie reloader student. She's going to come back in this week one day, and I hope to get some casting done. So I'll have a full week of it all. Hope everybody has got some good plans going on for the 4th, and looking forward to celebrating the nation's birthday. And I want to say goodnight to all of you folks over there on the side chat. That's one of the main reasons I'm here. And Jamie, thanks for the invitation as always to come in and participate and shoot my mouth off, even though I didn't do a whole lot of it tonight.
Oh man, we love having you on, man. You're our cool hand Luke, brother. Thanks. Scotsman, what you got coming up?
Oh man, we got lots going on here. So the last couple of weeks it's been pretty hot. It's gonna be hot again this week. We got storms coming. But with that being said, we do have some other stuff hopefully coming up here soon. So I ordered a new scope and a new printer. So we got some things coming up as far as Day at the Range. If you guys don't know Day at the Range, go check him out. But he does a lot of challenges. CW's been on them. No Pros doing challenges as well. I'm going to hopefully shoot one of those this week too. So lots of different things coming up there. Big one is 4th of July. And before we get into that, big shout out to Mac Man. Big congratulations to him again, brother. As someone who went through the process, I understand it 110%. So congratulations to you. And I hope you enjoy your day, man. Absolutely enjoy your day. 4th of July, 5 o'clock Eastern. Let freedom ring. Load up as many videos as you can, post them, and let's blow up YouTube. That's what we do. This year, let's make it the biggest one, the baddest one we've ever done. We always try to up it every single year. So, again, 5 o'clock Eastern. And always appreciate being here with you, brother, and seeing everyone out there. Appreciate everyone on the side chat. You guys are awesome. You guys make this happen, so we always appreciate you.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for being here. And James Pugh's out there got surgery scheduled. I saw that 35 Remington. I got to go watch that video, and I'm sure I'll love it. What time is 5 Eastern and regular time? That is regular time, Harm. I mean, anyway, CW, what you got?
Eastern, only time that matters.
Exactly. What you got coming up for us, CW?
Oh, I've got a bunch of videos already in queue. Tomorrow, I'm going to go down to the boat, do a little maintenance. I don't know if we're going to get out or not. Depends on how the maintenance goes and how well the guys are pulling it off the rack and putting it in the water for us. But that's the plan for tomorrow. And Sunday, we'll go back to the range. Supposed to have pretty good weather this weekend here, so should be pretty good.
Nice.
Heat for us is supposed to tame down. Supposed to have more seasonal weather, so it'd be should be a pretty good week. See what we can get done. Thanks for all the comments. All the side chat was really good, really rough, hopping along. You guys were great tonight. Good to see all you folks on the panel here. And turn it back over to you, Gene.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you guys on the side chat. And maybe I can record a stage from the cowboy thing tomorrow and make that my Let Freedom Ring video. That'll certainly be taking my game up a little bit. So, guys, we've had a great time. Thank all y'all for joining us. Panel, thank you. And couldn't do it without you. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. So there we go. And Let Freedom Ring on Thursday at 5 o'clock. And we hope the Lord blesses you all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night.